Okay, what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another live stream. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Like always, guys, any pairs you're looking at, feel free to let us know. We'll take a look at it together, share it in the live chat, and also take a look at it together, see any opportunities we've got. If you know any trades, feel free to share. We'll see what's happening in the market. Like always, guys, if you do want to follow my trades, check out my Telegram channel, link to that in the description, and also the chat as well. And yeah, if you're looking for a broker, I'm currently using IC Markets, and I do have my affiliate link there as well if you want to use it in the live chat or in the description as well. If you want to, feel free to go check out the broker. But like always, guys, going to take a look at what is happening in the charts. Yesterday we did have obviously interest rate decision in the United States, and that did affect the market quite a bit. We did see a bit of a fake out one way, and price moved in the opposite direction. We do normally see that quite a lot, to be honest, with those announcements, and then you got talks about the decision after. Normally sends the market the opposite way. I was trading USD CAD yesterday. Did manage to catch a nice push to the upside into that first TP area, coming into this area here of resistance. So we had all of these wicks here. This here around the 1.27800 was my first TP, and I was looking for price to break above, because at the meantime the daily was still holding this trend line. Obviously you can see price is not anymore, but price was still holding this trend line and still moving to the upside. So I was expecting this current daily candle to pull back, close bullish, and possibly break through this resistance here to continue bullish. So I was in a USD CAD position at this support here. So I did catch a move into this area, but I did exit the trade quite quickly after, because as you can see, that massive wick to the upside into that resistance pulls all the way back and closes a doji. So I knew that after, I think it was 6:30 GMT, that's when the talks happened, and after prices reacted to what was said, price pulled all the way back. So all that bullish momentum was depleted, because obviously at one point this was a big bullish candle, and then depleted and closed as a doji. So I knew that at that moment, that's when the market's probably gonna get ready to reverse. A lot of people with FOMO and wanted to buy into the market would have bought as prices coming up here, and then that big wick would have trapped them, and then you see the momentum spill in the opposite direction. So did miss out on potentially price going against me there, and then I did hop into CHF JPY as well, which was happening in the opposite direction pretty much as I closed the USD CAD trade. I got into CHF JPY trade. Now this one, like on the stream yesterday, I was talking to you guys about CHF JPY. I said this one is looking the best out of all the pairs for me, and probably the one I'll be focusing on the most. Looking for some buys simply because on the higher time frames, specifically the daily, we have this key level of resistance that price is trading back above now. So you can see we formed it over there. Price used that support, resistance, many wicks into these areas, and finally, after one false break that we had here, price came back below. I'm looking at this one being the actual break, and price heading higher into this level of resistance. So yeah, I was looking at buys for that. Price was respecting this trend line. Momentum is to the upside. A little bit corrective, but CHF JPY is on its way higher. So I was looking for opportunities to buy the pair. And then on the stream, we were currently trading around this area. I said if price can put a higher low in here, I'll look for some buys. And then as soon as we got this fake move to the downside, that bearish candle, and then we got this strong close of the bullish candle, also breaking through this trend line here as well, I did enter my second trade after that area, and then caught, well, still actually in this trade, caught a nice move into my first take profit, which was obviously this prior high here, because that obviously sent us down. So I'm still in the trade here. I'm currently around 50% of that way to the TP, currently break even on it, but I am looking for continuations back up into that 127 level to go and test those daily highs. So I'm still looking for more upside from this one. However, you can see we are rejecting this swing high there, hence why I have gone break even. Momentum has depleted. We were looking very, very healthy going into the level, but overnight from the Asian session coming to London, seeing a lot of rejection at this high. So potentially price could come back down, for another higher low before going bullish. It could even come back down to go and retest that daily region before going bullish as well. So if that's the case, I'd rather exit this trade and look to get into that second trade at a better opportunity. So yeah, I am break even on this one. We'll see what happens. I've secured some profit, so whatever happens, profit is banked, so not the end of the world. But I am still looking at CHF JPY heading higher, but we'll have to see because momentum is depleting. There's some other pairs that I am looking at. Gold is looking good now. We've seen a nice wick to the downside, as you can see there. So really nice wick there into 1900. Again, that was the interest rates yesterday. Open bearish, big spike to the downside, trapping some sellers, and then as the talks happened half an hour later, price reacted to those talks and then pulled all the way back and actually closed bullish there, as you can see on the 4H. See it better on the hourly. So nice fake up to the downside. Again, I've been talking to you guys about looking for some buys for gold, looking for price to push bullish. This was the main area I was expecting price to go bullish from that 1920 region. Again, I did say wait for extra confirmation before going long, to avoid the kind of that fake out. And now we are looking fairly bullish coming into this resistance here. So gold for me potentially could still push into these highs up there. If it wants to, it could still potentially do that move. But I do have to say that if gold can pull a higher low, that's when I'll look to enter. Just because gold could actually roll over it again if it wanted to, and see some more downside into some of these areas there, which again I'll still look for buys, to be honest. So I'm waiting for gold to put in that higher low. We'll come into some resistance around the 1940 region. Seeing a really nice fake out, so that's a nice confirmation there that we could be heading higher. Now I want to see price pull back, give me a higher low or something, and then I'll look to enter some trades, to the upside with some targets around this area where we're putting all of those wicks to the downside. So I do expect gold to go a lot higher. Silver looks like it's doing the exact same thing as well. Nice double bottom there. Looks like it's pushing higher, but I just want these pairs to confirm a higher low first before I do look to put in any long entries. But yeah, I've been looking for longs all week for gold, and I think after this nice rally, hopefully we can pull back and we don't just shoot up to the upside out of nowhere. Hopefully we do pull back, put the higher low in, and then yeah, I'll look for some entries to take this one higher, because we are looking good now. I've been looking at the DXY quite a lot, and the DXY is looking very bearish to me. Price has tried to go bullish a number of times here, coming into this kind of resistance trendline area. Price has tried to go bullish 3 times here. As you can see, we tried to go bullish once to break past that trend line, failed. Second, failed. Third, failed. Then yesterday we broke through this support. And I said to you guys, as long as you break through the support, stay underneath the support. Yeah, sure, I'll take a look at AUD in a second. But as long as you break through that support, stay underneath that support, that is when I'm expecting DXY to fall. And then I'm looking at 2 areas, which was this area, which price is actually holding as resistance now. And the second area was all the way down here. So this is where I'm expecting DXY to head to in the next few, probably days, maybe hours, to be fair, maybe hours depending on momentum and everything. But maybe by the end of the week we could be trading at these lows. This is where I'm expecting price to go. Now for the DXY, massive wick to the upside, definitely grabbing a lot of liquidity there. And now we're seeing the market roll over quite nicely. So yeah, I'm expecting more downside for this pair. So pairs like Euro USD, AID USD, Pound USD, expecting those to go up. USD CAN expect to come down. USD CHF expect to come down as well. Obviously, if DXY does take a dive, we should see gold push up. But as we know of lately, gold and DXY correlation has been a little bit all over the place, so maybe nothing to really look into too much. But Generally speaking, if the dollar is falling, we should see gold push up, but the correlation is sometimes here, sometimes not there. But yeah, AUD, yeah, we'll get onto Euro Pound as well. What way can the relative strength of geopolitical news influence the price action of gold, these currencies? Well, again, yeah, again, I don't really look at too much into the fundamentals. So again, I'm definitely not the right person to be asking those questions to. But from my knowledge, pretty much, I mainly just focus on inflation and interest rates from the fundamental aspect. I mean, depending on where it's about, it's sometimes a little bit different. But all I know is that when we do have those interest rates increase, I'm generally expecting the currency to go up in value, apart from the dollar, which tends to go down when the interest rates come up. But that's the only really fundamental thing I actually look into. Other than that, not too much. I mainly focus on technicals and trying to master technicals as much as possible. So yeah, definitely not the right person to answer that question. But yeah, AUSD, we've seen quite a big move to the upside. Again, I was not expecting that. Price was holding this support resistance at 0.72600, which price has actually broken through quite aggressively, and now we're looking quite bullish into that area. So I would say, if price can hold to this, there'll probably be some short-term sales for AU. But I do think with the way we're looking on the daily time frame, that price could actually go a lot higher. The way price is holding some of these areas around 0.716 600, 0.71700. I do think price potentially has put another higher low, like it's been doing for the past few days now. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if this momentum continues, I'll be expecting price probably to be coming to the high of this wick, maybe even to go and take it out as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes past this in the next few days. We are, however, coming into resistance. So do be careful, but certainly if price can give us a drop to the downside, a higher low somewhere, those buys will be looking very, very good. Or if we do push past this 0.73700, 0.73400 resistance, bit of a mouthful there. If we can push past this area, start using it as support, then I would say buys would be looking very, very good off that to the upside, just continuing that momentum from the daily time frame. So yeah, I would say I'm leaning towards more the buys for AUSD, but I'm going to be a little bit more of a spectator on this one, see how we react at this level. Because like I said, if we do hold into this level, the market does have some room to go retrace of this bullish, that bullish leg. So there might be some intraday sells on the 15 minute to the downside from that. But other than that, I'm expecting price, probably to come back to these highs. So if we do hold this level, see some downside, I'll be looking for buys. And if we break through the level, retest it again, I'll be looking for buys for price to come back to these areas up there. But that probably will take us into next week before price does that. Again, never say never. We could have a crazy move, but I would expect price to be coming back to these highs if this level gets broken, or if we put the higher low in. But yeah, I'm expecting dollar to see some downside. So if we do see that successfully for the DXY, we see price start to come back down to this 97,800 area, then that should help AU push bullish. AU's been quite bullish over the past few days now, few weeks. As you can see, we do have an uptrend forming, currently formed, still going with those higher highs and higher lows. So AU has definitely been stronger than US dollar, and the fact that we can see more US dollar strength coming up soon, does definitely feed into this trend, and we could be looking at price pushing back into that 0.74400 level. So yeah, I'm mainly focused on the buys, but see what happens at this level of resistance. Could be some sells, but I'm not really looking to take advantage of that, because I do believe the bigger move is to the upside with this one. Can you discuss or perform an example trade of how rates affect a particular lot size in a bearish trade? To be honest, the way because interest rates is just looking at how the economy they're gonna increase to bring the currency up to deal with inflation. I'm not really looking at that as from a trade to trade perspective. So if say United States increased their rates, which they just did, I'm not gonna look to base a trade off that alone. That's something that I'll keep in the back of my head. All my trades are based off pretty much all technicals. So when I'm back testing, going through data, I'm not really looking to take into account different decisions, interest rates, inflation at the time, just because I wouldn't know the data at the time. I could probably look back and find it, but I'm not going to be looking back 2016 March, what happened really. I know some traders will probably do that, and they're probably more heavily fundamental, but each trade I take is based off purely technicals. I'll keep in mind of what the interest rate decision could be, because then that could affect 2-3 months. So I know that potentially we could see a lot more dollar weakness over the next maybe month or so. So that means that, okay, potentially AUSD could be seeing a bullish trend now, or Euro USD could be seeing a bullish trend. So I'm not gonna just buy it because of that, but I'm gonna look for technicals, and then obviously that fundamental will be like an extra confluence, like a trend line is an extra confluence. So there's no specific trade that I can show you that I took advantage of a fundamental announcement from. There's no trade, or all trades I take are based on technicals. Some trades, I might have had some fundamental confluence on it. Some would have worked, some would have failed, but for me, I'm mainly focused on my technicals, and that's what I try to stay consistent with. Fundamentals, I'll probably get more into, but technicals, everything for each trade. I haven't taken a trade ever based on off a fundamental event or a fundamental aspect. So I won't be able to show you a trade, but again, my USD CAD position, the fact that went south after the talks, that was because of the talks after the interest rate came in at 6.30, which continued this bearish trend. But again, I'm never going to take a trade because of a fundamental decision. It will always be a confluence, but technicals is always 90-95% of the reason why I'm getting to a trade. Hello, Holy One of Israel. I hope that answered your question, because I don't really focus too much onto fundamentals. Some traders do, some traders don't. Again, I don't know enough to tell you whether to look into it or to research it. Obviously, the more you know is the better, but for me, I don't take trades based on fundamentals at all, really. But Euro Pound is also looking bearish as well, to be honest. I wasn't actually expecting that from Euro Pound, but I do believe we've got some pound news coming up at 12:30, and I think we just had some Euro news. I think we just had some CPI. So that could be affecting Euro. Let me just go check quickly. So we did have CPI at 10. So that's probably affecting Euro a little bit there. Pound is looking a little bit stronger. But Euro Pound's looking bearish there, and as you can see, we are actually breaking through some strong support here. So if we can close below this on the 4H, we could see a bigger move to the downside, because at the start of the week, I was actually looking at Euro Pound coming back down to this zone here, but we failed. We came about half the way to around this area, around 0.836. Then we saw some really nice upside, so I was looking to buy from here. It didn't come through, but now maybe price is going to see that move. Certainly if we can break through this support, we'll probably see a move into this area, and then it's up to price if it can break through that to come into that area down there, and the 0.83200. If it does pull back above that support, then that support's still holding firm, and it'll probably still give us some bullish momentum to the upside. This is the 4H time frame, so we do have another 2.5 hours before that candle does close. But if we can pull back above that, could be some nice buys. But I'm not finding that price action at all. It's looking very, very choppy. It looks like price is prepared to roll over here. So yeah, I think Euro Pound's seeing some downside here. I think Euro Pound next target probably will be this 0.83600 level, and then that will be the second area of interest. If you're looking to trade this, I'll probably say, look for a break and retest of this level, because you can see price in the 4H broke through the level at the start of the week. Is that the start of the week or last week? Maybe last week. Broke through the level, and then price came back and then held the level as support, and saw that move to the upside. Now it's breaking through the level again, so I'll probably wait for this 4H candle to close in about 2.5 hours, then see if you can get the retest of this, drop the lower time frames out of 30-minute, then you can probably get a nice trade, something like this, to take advantage of that. And then you have your targets down here, and then a second area down there to take advantage of that. But it might be important to wait for that 4H to close, just because price could obviously pull back up, back above that level. But from a technical standpoint, it's very, very corrective, and it does look like the bears are in control of this. So yeah, break and retest will be a nice entry, target 1 and then target 2 down there, I would say, for Euro Pound. No problem, happy to help. Yeah, sure, I will take a look at that in a second. Totally ignore fundamentals, take a trade technically. Yeah, that's pretty much the same as me. I mean, I'm aware of some of the things that happen on a bigger time scale, but from trade to trade, it's 100% technicals, because I know from a technical standpoint, I can always be consistent. From that, a break and retest is always going to be a break and retest, no matter what is happening. Obviously, some will fail, some could get manipulated, stuff like that. But a break and retest is always a break and retest. Trend lines always trend lines, support, resistance, supply, demand, all the same thing. So yeah, every trade I take is obviously based in technicals. I wouldn't look at a fundamental, something that's going on and then take that into the chart. Maybe I might do that in the future. I never know. But currently, it's all from a technical aspect. I was getting confused what the term quantitative on that topic there, but I don't even know what that quantitative easing means either. Morning, I'm still under training. I will take a live stream that took the YouTube yesterday. Stopped out and profit one before on a 10 grand account. Still on. Wow, 1.4 on a 10k account. That's a big turnaround. But yeah, the market was quite fluctuating a lot yesterday. We did see pretty much all of them wick to one direction and then go the next. We do see that quite a lot, when we do get those interest rate decisions, and then we do have talks after. I've seen that a few times now, and I've been noticing that, and actually took that information in for my USD CAD trade, and actually luckily closed that before price did go against me. But yeah, we did see quite a lot of movement, and pound JPY absolutely skyrocketed to the upside there. It flew past that 155 barrier of resistance, and price broke through that very, very easily, and it's looking quite bullish now. And I did say to you guys yesterday that if price can hold 155, I will be expecting price to go bearish. But if we do break through, and I do think price has given us a bit of a false break to the downside beneath this low here on the daily, I think this here is a bit of a false move to the downside, because if we do step back and look at the higher time frames, go on to the monthly, you can see price is still very, very bullish. Coming into this, if this was like an hourly or 30-minute time frame, and you see this sort of price action, it does mean that price is obviously stalling at this level, but we're still maintaining wicks to the downside, and price is still giving us fairly strong closes to the upside, which does imply that this level of resistance could actually break and price could see some upside. And the fact that we've got this nice wick to the downside there on the monthly, and the price is giving us another higher low on the weekly, because you can see price was holding this 149 level of support. Price did give us a bit of a double top there, so you would expect price to come back into that 149, but we failed. We put a higher low in, and now we're seeing a lot of bullish momentum. So if the market pulls back and puts a higher low in, I would expect price probably to come back and retest this resistance in quite soon-ish time. So I would say the sells are still probably looking good for pound JPY, simply because it's been very, very bullish. So the chances are we could see some downside. A lot of buyers will be coming up to profit taking now, or coming to some supply that we haven't come back to in a while. So we could see some downside, some correction, but I do think the bigger move is to the upside. And we're also breaking above a very, very key level at 155,500, which you can see over here was a really nice level that price broke back above, used it as support a number of times before breaking through, and now we're back above that level even. So yeah, I think pound JPY is going to continue to 157,500 up here. We might see that retracement come in, maybe a higher low form there, or at 155, which will probably provide some nice buying opportunities later on. But for me, pound JPY is looking like it wants to push up. We do have again the interest rates coming out at 12.30, I think. Let me just go double check before I say some stuff that isn't true. Not 12.30, 12. So 12 GMT in an hour and 20 minutes. We do have Bank of England interest rate decision coming up. So again, I'm pretty sure it's expected to go up for the pound. I'm pretty sure it's expected to go up. Don't take my word for that, but I'm pretty sure it is. So that should mean we should see a bullish pound. We should see a bullish pound, off the back of that decision there. Obviously anything can happen. I'm not looking to trade the news there. I'm not currently in any pound pairs, so I shouldn't be too affected. Again, interest rates do have a big impact on the market, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be the currency affected. We see that a lot with dollar, but I'm currently in CHF JPY, so we'll see how that gets through. So far it is rejecting that resistance there, so price could come back and take me out of a break even there, but I'll see how price gets going. I'm already taking profits, so at worst case scenario it comes back to break even. Best case we see some upside and it breaks through that resistance. Looking quite unlikely now, to be fair, but again, I'm just following my plan, and we'll see what happens with that. We could come back for the retest, which again, like I said, I'll look for more entries to go long. Pretty much as long as we stay above this, I'll be looking for price to push bullish there for CHF JPY. But yeah, it's just a little bit corrective now. You can see in the 4H, strong reaction there. We could retrace back to some of these areas before going bullish again, which does imply I could get stopped out, break even. But I'll just look for more re-entries. If I can get a good one, maybe the risk to reward might be a bit better anyway. So we'll have to find out. But yeah, I'm gonna see how that one gets going on. But yeah, I do have a few pairs I'm looking at. USD CAD, I was looking at buys yesterday. Now I'm looking at sells today. So prices are absolutely broken through that trend line now, very, very aggressively. All this bullish momentum over the past couple of days, from that wick into that strong bullish candle, is completely erased. Price gave us a big wick to the upside, and now we're closing very, very bearish back again below that trend line. So I think price is actually putting another major lower high here. So we've got these highs that price has been putting in this area between 1.28500 and 1.29500. So you can see these wicks, big wick, big wick. Price came into that big reaction, and I think price is starting to top out now, and we could see price start to roll over. And naturally, I'm going to be looking for a push into 1.25 now. So USD CAD, I do think will probably roll over. I'm looking for that next lower high in the market on the hourly time frame. And then yeah, I'll be expecting price to make its way back down to 1.25 here. So yeah, that bullish price that I had coming into the week above that trend line is gone out the window now, especially with yesterday's close on the daily. So now I'm going to see how things settle. I'm going to wait to see if we can get a lower high somewhere. And if I do get a good signal, I will be looking for some shorts. We have broken through this support here, so on the retest of that or the retest of a trend line of the lower high, I will be looking for those shorts to the downside. We do have the first target, kind of at this area, but the main target we have is all the way down there, which I'm expecting price to push bearish into. So yeah, USD CAD looking very, very bearish now. Dollar's looking weak. If that can maintain, it should drag USD CAD with it. What's up, Trent? How are you doing? Can you look at Euro and gold, please? No problem, man. Euro and gold. So Euro USD, I'm still bullish on Euro USD. Again, I'm expecting DXY to fall. So if DXY does play out like that, we should see Euro USD do the exact opposite. I'm looking for a move back up into this price swing low there on the daily at 1.112. So that's where I'm expecting price to go next. It looks like price has put a nice high low there on the daily as well. So I'm looking at price pushing higher. Yesterday we were talking about Euro USD a fair amount. I was telling you guys that price does look like it's trying to break higher. Price is holding this trend line, giving us high low after high low after high low. All this bearish momentum was depleting, failing to push us lower. Resistance was breaking, support was holding. So yesterday I was talking about if we can break through this area here, I'm going to be expecting Euro USD to push bullish and back into the highs up here, and that's exactly what I'm expecting now. It does look like price is a little bit consolidating, to be honest. It's a little bit choppy in that area, but I do think if we just maintain above this and see some nice bullish momentum come back in, I'm expecting price to push into 1.112 now for Euro USD. I'm expecting some dollar weakness, so hopefully that will drive price higher. I think we do have some US dollar news coming out later as well at maybe 12:30. So again, that might affect price there. That spike there on the hourly, I'm pretty sure is due to the news that just came out at 10 for euro there. But from a technical standpoint, we're still standing above this level. Price is still respecting this trend line, giving us multiple higher lows here, confirming that momentum is still with the bulls. Nice fake out to the downside with the news yesterday. Price broke through the level which we were talking about on the live stream as well. I said if you can break above, a nice break and retest would be a good entry to go long. We never ever got that break. We got some nice wicks, but it was always very, very choppy. And now we've got a really nice break above. So if we can stay, I'll be expecting price to continue. It is a little bit choppy in this area, so we could see price fluctuate a little bit more as it tries to go and break through some resistance here. But yeah, I would say I am bullish on euro as long as we can hold above this. Break back below, and then we're back into like a no trade zone for me, back into the trend line and underneath that resistance. I'll leave price alone. We might fake lower, come back above, and then go bullish. Who knows? But as long as we stay above that, I'm looking for price to come back into that daily level there of that support term resistance. And gold, I'm expecting the same thing as well. I'm expecting gold to go up. We know that DXY potentially might go down, and gold and DXY are inversely correlated. Like I said, the correlation between gold and DXY has been a bit off lately. We have seen gold rallying, and so we've seen DXY rallying as well. So it's been a bit off, but hopefully it starts to come back together again. And if DXY does take a dip, then we should expect gold to rally as well. Gold is holding the level that I gave out at the start of the week on my weekly analysis. I said I'm looking at two areas, 1920 and also 1890. Price is holding 1920, almost wicked into 1890 to be honest. But I think this was just a bit of a false breakout, shakeout. Some buyers that are getting in a bit early. and now we're seeing some nice momentum. So I said for gold, this is now my next target for price to come back into this area. But you can see there's wicks, a bit of a false break, and then the break around the 1970 mark is where I'm expecting gold to go next, and also this wick here on the left. But I did say I'm looking for that higher low first before getting involved, just because the market could still put another lower high, in this area and still roll over. But if we do see the market pull back down for us, lose that bearish momentum, give us a higher low somewhere, maybe coming back into this sort of area here, that could be some nice long opportunities to take advantage of that, and buys back into that 1970 region, and then maybe even higher. We could push into 2000, but don't want to be too aggressive with gold, I'd say, because it looks like it could fluctuate quite quickly, if something big was to happen. But all in all, I'm bullish on gold. It's looking good now, so hopefully we can get that higher low in, if you're not already in buys, of course, and then you can look for some entries around that. Hopefully you can get it maybe later today or tomorrow, and then I would say 1970 is what I'm expecting price to push into, and euro I'm looking at 1.112. So yeah, I'm expecting upside for both of those pairs. I started trading in January because I wanted to see what works and what does not work. For me, I am 3.5 and the running trade is 600 up, not size 1. I actually wanted to know if this is considered good or what. Yeah, I would say that is good. That is good. I mean, you have to be honest, because majority of traders are failing in the market. So to be honest, any profit, is good, and if you can sustain that any profit as well over a period of time, that is still very good. Even if you sustain 1% over 3 months, you're doing better than like 90% of people. So that is still good. So if you've made 10k from that, or 3,500, it's still good. And the fact that you just have to start from low levels and work your way up as you progress. Everyone's still learning. Even the most experienced traders, they'll probably tell you they're still learning as well. And obviously their results from 5 years ago compared to now will be a lot different. So for me, any profit is good, and if you can sustain that profit over a period of months, 3, 4, 5 months, that is very, very good as well. And you put yourself above a large majority of people in the industry already just by doing that. Pound CAD, yeah, completely forgot about pound CAD, my bad. I'll get into that now. Yeah, I'll take a look at pound CAD now. The same look, but missed the entry on gold. Yeah, I know a lot of people probably got stopped out, so at least you missed the trade rather than taking a loss. So yeah, gold is looking good. Gold is looking good now. I think we can see a bit more upside from this. A little bit of minor resistance here at 1940 with that daily candle there. But if you can pass that, I'm looking at 1970. But hopefully that 1940 region can pull us back there, and then you can look for some more entries to push that one further. But yeah, you're not going to always catch all the entries, so you've just got to take them as they come. But pound CAD, you want to get into that now. Keep moving away from pound CAD, my bad. So yeah, pound CAD for this one, still very, very bearish pair. We've actually formed some new lows not too long ago. Looking at the lower time frames, it looks like price might have just put in a higher low here at 1.66, as you can see here, relative to that low there, of course. And if we can maintain some momentum, we could push higher, maybe back into some resistance. We do have this area here, which price has found support, retested, manipulated that area. So we could see price rally back into that, where we could actually roll back over, because we do understand that obviously the main momentum in this market is obviously with the bears to the downside. Start to break through these areas, then we could see the bulls maybe start to regain some strength. They tried to over here, but again, quickly the bears cancelled that move out and price got back underneath. So if you're looking at pound CAD, I'll still have a short bias as long as we're still trading below this area at 1.67300. I'll still have a short bias. So If I was you, I would probably abstain from trading pound CAD in this area. We're seeing a lot of wicks and just a lot of choppy price action. I wouldn't say that there's really worth getting involved in this area. Yes, you could probably get a good trade, but probability wise not looking too good. And a lot of stop losses will be above this area here with all those wicks. So a push into that key level there of resistance, having that test as resistance, false break, retest, see that pattern all the time where price forms a level of resistance, breaks through it, has that false break, retest it, and then rolls over, giving us the head and shoulder. We see that pattern time and time and again. So we'll be looking at a push into there, and then obviously if we can hold that, sales will be looking a lot better from there, and then targets probably back into that recent low just made. If you can break past that, then we can start looking at the lows there. So yeah, that's what I would be looking at for pound CAD. Break through that area, that's when I'll probably fold my hands and then see what price does, because again, it could be another manipulation. But if it is a true break, we could be heading up to some supply resistance up around that 1.69 area. So could be looking at something like this as well. But for now, we're still trading underneath. Momentum is still bearish, trend still bearish. Best bet is always going to be to short the market. So see what happens on the retest. Obviously, if we get there, and then yeah, targets to the downside. 4 hours ago, it's a good entry in gold. Yeah, you just gotta wait for the next one, man. Just gotta wait for the next one. I mean, hopefully there is a next one, and gold doesn't just rally there, but you can see a nice break and retest of this level here, which price gave us at 1930. Nice break and retest, and gold has moved to the upside from that. So yeah, it's looking good for gold. I mean, the good thing is that price is starting to make a lot more sense now than it did here, looking very, very bearish. Nice false breaks to the downside, so we know a lot of liquidity has been grabbed. So price is looking good. So all we have to do is just hope that price does come back down again. And if it does hold this 1914 area, I think it will anyway. But yeah, I'm expecting 1970s for gold. So yeah, you might have missed that entry, but hopefully you can get another one, and maybe price can give you even better entry than the first one, maybe a better risk to reward. The market does have the ways of surprising you like that. I'm actually waiting for sales in gold. Gold recovered my account from negative 3,000 to my current position, as I stated above. That is gold doing bits then. Gold's doing all the heavy lifting. But yeah, where are you looking to sell gold? You looking to sell gold, up around here, or whereabouts are you looking to get short on gold? Because I'm looking at gold coming, higher into these areas where we could roll over. To be honest, we don't have to break through. But I know that the higher time for momentum is still bearish for me, so still bullish for me. So I'm still looking at that continuation. But yeah, whereabouts are you looking to sell gold? How's CHF JPY doing these days? Yeah, so still just about hanging on to dear life at this support level there. Again, looking very, very corrective now, but we'll see how this one develops. Still do have that bullish bias, so we'll see how that gets on. I do think price can come up into this area here. Obviously, it might come down first, but from a higher time frame point of view, daily, weekly, everything is telling me that we are bullish. But obviously, we don't have to come back to those highs just yet if price doesn't want to. So yeah, I'm stop loss of break even. If it does come back down, it does come back down. If it starts to rally, happy days. We'll see how that one can get going. Again, so yeah, USD CAD, I'm looking at quite a lot. I'm hoping we can get some retracement for that pair. I'm also looking at AUD/USD and NZD/USD quite a lot now. AUD/USD, I spoke on that one earlier, and I said I'm still looking at longs. Wow, AUD/USD is still pushing quite strong down the hourly time frame into that level. So yeah, I think AU might be probably the strongest currency out there. I'm pretty sure across all pairs. AU seems to be outperforming every other pair here. So yeah, AUD. Yeah, AU is definitely the strongest pair across the board. So yeah, AUSD is pushing to the upside very, very strongly here. And yeah, if it breaks that 0.73400 barrier, which is this level here, I'm expecting price to rally onto those highs. I think price is putting another significant higher low here, the way it's reacted. So you can see the structure of the market: high, low, high, low, high, low, another big high, potentially another low. If it doesn't break through this, like I said, there could be some shorts back into this level to take advantage of that. We haven't broke through it yet. Could still put a nice wick and then come back down. But if we do break through on the retest, is where I'll be looking to get involved. Or if we do reject back down, then I'll be looking to get long on a high low back down here, maybe for a bit of a inverse head and shoulder pattern. Close to that head and shoulders. Okay, so are you talking about the head and shoulder here? So that the left shoulder there, the head, and then potentially a right shoulder, or are you talking about the left shoulder here, the head and the right shoulder? Then you're looking to retest the neckline, which is pretty much the same area, to be honest. So yeah, that could play out potentially. That could always play out. Obviously, if the market does start rejecting that area, then obviously I will be looking at the price action to say, okay, yeah, we're going to break through or not. We might come back down, but for now, I do expect price to push higher. I'm looking at the higher time frames, and everything is still telling me that gold is still bullish. Had a nice retest of some levels back here, and looks like price is holding above this significant high here on the left at 1912, now turns support. So I'm expecting gold to rally. Like I said, if it does reject this, we could come back down, and we'll see what price does from that. Break through this, break through 2000, then yeah, I'll be expecting 2070 to be hit again, which is that wick up there, maybe 2075 as well, which will be some new highs for gold. But yeah, I can see your understanding with that. We'll see what happens at that area. Obviously, do wait for price action before jumping to any sales, just in case price just rally straight through. How gold can work sometimes. It can just give you massive moves out of nowhere. But yeah, maybe if we can hold that, we could see some downside from that. But yeah, we've seen a very, very bullish JPY pairs. Not JPY. JPY has been quite weak, but JPY, CAD JPY has been flying, Pound JPY has been flying, Euro JPY has been flying, NZ JPY has been flying, AUD JPY has been flying. So we've seen that very, very used JPY as well has been flying for quite some time now. So we've seen pretty much all those JPY pairs be flying to the upside. So obviously JPY has been very, very weak over the past couple of weeks, but particularly this week, I would say JPY has been very, very weak. Dollar's been a little bit strong, but starting to see a bit more weakness now as well. But a lot of these JPY pairs have seen quite substantial moves, and a lot of them actually producing some new highs on the weekly time frame. If you look at AUD JPY here, breaking past that high, that's a new higher high on the weekly there. CAD JPY, we saw that a couple of days ago, or yesterday. Again, price still making new highs there above that weekly point. CHF JPY, not quite yet though. You can see the high up there hasn't been taken out. Again, that's the current pair I'm trading, expecting price to follow behind those other JPY pairs and get to that high, but price looking like it might have other ideas. Euro JPY hasn't done that yet, but again, such a substantial increase in price after that massive bearish candle coming into these lowest prices, traded right above that candle there. So crazy moves to the upside. Pound again, not yet, but big moves as well. As the JPY looks like it's on its way to as well. So yeah, I think these pairs could push higher if they do follow some higher time frames, like the monthly as well. Because if you guys don't remember, not too long ago we were seeing big rallies for these JPY and USD pairs. I remember Pound USD was flying, going. Can't remember specifically what price. It was 142, 1.42 we got to. We'll check right now. Was it 142? Yeah, Wow, that is a good memory there. So yeah, price did get to 1.42, was it? Yeah, 1.42. So we saw crazy rallies for pound JP USD, pound JPY as well, crazy rallies, and it looks like price is just continuing with that trend back from that 2020-21 period. It looks like price is continuing with all those trends that we started back then, and they're all looking like they're continuing. So yeah, definitely JPY weakness. I'm expecting more of that. I'm expecting more US dollar weakness as well. Hopefully you can get some retracement for those pairs, but in the next couple of weeks I'm expecting them to continue. Do you already look at GU? I think it will fall. Okay, I'll go take a look at GU. I haven't looked at that pound. I haven't looked at that pair yet. I wanted to retest the neckline. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's the same kind of area that I was just talking about there on gold. So yeah, generally that area, retest the neckline, could roll over, form another lower high, like it's been doing over here. Potentially another one there, roll over. So again, that's the beauty of price action. People can be looking at the price action in one way, saying, okay, I think this is going to go up. People can look at the same exact price action and say, a completely different bias and looking for, a bearish move. And the only difference is that you need to have, confirmations. You need to have, things in place that will confirm to you that your bias potentially will happen or won't happen. So, from a bullish point of view, if I get that higher low, I will be looking for price to push on into this level. If it breaks through, it can go a lot higher. Just like when price gets to this area, you'll be looking for some confirmations to see if price will go lower to come back down. Either way, both of us can take advantage of gold. I can take advantage of the buys, come out that level, and then you can take advantage of the sells, and I might look to get in as well. So that's the beauty of price. You don't have to know where price is going. You don't have to know where a specific market is going. You just need to know how to enter the market, how to exit the market, and also how to stay out of the market, not to get involved when it's not the right time. And that's simply how you stay consistent in trading. Really, you don't need to know where it's going. But yeah, pound USD, we saw a bit of a move to the upside for that one as well. It wicked lower. Again, we saw that kind of fake out there. The rates hit, price wicked lower, talks happened, swang right back up, closed bullish, and since then we've seen a lot of momentum. So yeah, yesterday I was talking about seeing some upside for pounds, mainly because we were trading in this consolidation zone here, and I said price was putting these higher lows in and maintaining that momentum. So I said if we do break to the upside, which we did on the stream, I'm pretty sure, I think this candle did close above yesterday, and I said if you can get a retest, essentially that big wick there from the news was the retest. I'm not sure if anyone was brave enough to enter on that, but price did whip back in, confirmed it as support now, so it was resistance support, and we have seen momentum from that. And I was looking at two main areas at the top of that wick, and this level here in price has actually pushed past that. So pound USD right now is coming up into daily territory right now, around the 1.32 mark. Obviously you can see this high here on the left, price is now trading into that. But also if you quickly go into the daily chart, we've got obviously this support running through the market here. So I'm not keen to short pound USD or pretty much any pair that says dollar will go bullish, just because of my analysis on the DXY. So I'm not really looking to short pound USD because of that. I know we're coming into some strong resistance. From a technical point of view, the market is still bearish on the daily. We still do have that higher time for momentum to the downside. Intraday is obviously bullish, but we're coming up to some nice resistance, some nice psychological levels, and some sort of strong support and resistance. So we could see price roll over, but definitely need to wait for some confirmation there before going short. You can see we do have this lower time frame trend line there. Even the 30-minute, that price is still respecting, still showing us higher highs and higher lows. So yeah, pound USD is in a great area where we could short. We could see some downside back into this area here, at least maybe something like this, form a head and shoulders there, and then maybe go bullish, or obviously collapse from that and actually give us another bearish leg. We'll have to find out. So yeah, simply monitor price in this area. You're correct, it's at a nice place, but we just need to see a bit more confirmation that that's going to go bearish from it. And the only reason why I'm so apprehensive about it is because from my DXY analysis, I'm expecting price to reach this level probably by the end of the week. So if I'm seeing DXY come back to this level, which it might not do, of course, my analysis could be wrong, but if it does happen like that, then it will take a very, very weak pound for pound USD to fall. And if we do have if we do have pound gain strength off the back of the interest rate decision in about 52 minutes from now, then pound can actually blow straight through this level and not give us really any confirmation to short at all. So do be aware of that. Pound probably will be reacting to that news in about 51 minutes, Bank of England interest rate decision. So if you are already in pound shorts, be careful. Probably want to manage the trade because price, could react bullish to the back of that news, and this level looks good to go. Really, a lot of liquidity above these highs. But yeah, I'm expecting dollar weakness, so that's why I'm not keen on shorting pound. But I could be wrong, of course. But maybe if we do get something like this, DXY changes up a little bit, something like this, maybe a lower high develop, then yeah, some sales will be looking a lot better. 1.31 as well, I'll be looking, and then 1.3 as well, but nothing quite there yet. But yeah, I hope that analysis did make sense down pound USD, because we do have some interest rates coming out for that, and I know a lot of people will be wanting to jump into the market now to try and take advantage of that, but be careful. That's all I got to say. Also, I'm looking in shorting GU. Confirmation is bullish engulfing. Bearing if I want to sell. I mean bearish. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. Pound USD, again, it's at a very, very nice place where it could go bearish, but there's just not enough evidence yet that it's going to drop. Again, from a technical standpoint, it ticks a lot of boxes. The price is coming back into a daily level, support, time, resistance, psychological level 1.32. This is our previous swing high of the market. Naturally, you do expect these areas to hold. We do have a lot of boxes ticked, but looking at the current price action in that area, it's not looking that good. So I'll be patient, and the fact that in about 50 minutes or so we do have some news that could force pound to blow through this area or pull back, I'll probably stay out the market, wait for the news to come, wait for things to settle, and then if things are still looking good and things meet your criteria, then feel free to take advantage of the opportunity. But if it was me, I would hold back for the next 50 minutes or so, wait for the news, see how price reacts, maybe give it 30 minutes, an hour after that before I start analysing the pair for any opportunities really. Don't jump, wait for news. Yeah, exactly, trends. Don't want to jump in too much, just before the news, just because things are looking good. Because again, news can change things in very, very quickly. Especially if you trade aggressively with a high percentage you're risking. You don't want to be giving too big. You don't want to be taking such a big loss just because of one decision that you could have avoided. So yeah, wait for news, wait for things to settle, and then you can look for some entries to get involved. Please look into USD for you, of course. Yeah, no problem, Patrick. Happy to help. USD. So yeah, USD is another pair that I'm looking to go bullish on. This pair is still looking good. We have seen a nice reaction from price around this area here. I was actually looking to sell USD at the start of the week, but price just dropped to the downside, and this would have been my take profit, and price has actually reacted very, very bullish to this area. So from that, the market is in a higher time frame sense, it's bearish, of course, you can see it falling. But if you look at this daily momentum here, it is bullish. Price is still forming these highs and lows here. So it is telling me that the market can still push higher and potentially take out this wick here on the left. Definitely if momentum continues. Like I said, DXY, I'm expecting that to fall. So a lot of signs are pointing in the same direction for USD to rally up again. Essentially, we are coming into some key resistance though, so if the market is to go bearish, this is where I'm expecting the market to go bearish from. Essentially, we could spike through, bit of manipulation, yeah, all of that, but essentially if we can hold this, then I'll be expecting the market to roll over naturally. First target here and then second target down there. As of right now, the current 4H candle is looking very, very bullish. Obviously hasn't closed yet, still got about an hour and 46 minutes before it does close. But you can see the way I've drawn the level here. I'm focusing on the wicks of this area here, and you see price collecting wicks around here, price closed above, indecision, 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 still putting wicks to the upside as well. Then we closed back below, a couple wicks back into there, and that's where we saw the momentum come from. So I know for a fact that this is where, you know, the orders align. This is where price is getting rejected from, and that's where you want to be selling the market. So if price breaks above this and starts putting wicks to the downside, that's how I know we've got a break and retest, and at that point I'll be looking to take advantage of some buys back into those highs like so. But like I said, the current candle's still got an hour and 45 left. It could still pull back underneath. Hourlies, things are still looking bullish. That was quite a bullish candle there. That just closed at 11 there. Big wicks to the downside and price pull back up. But obviously we haven't broken through that level just yet. So yeah, as the USD for me, I'm leaning more towards the bullish side of things. If we break above this, start holding a support, like I said, I'm looking for buys. Or if we do see some downside, I'll be looking for buys from here to take advantage of that move. And all because I'm really expecting more dollar weakness. Hey Karen, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. No problem. But yeah, as USD looking bullish and AUDUSD looking bullish as well. So both those pairs coming into some strong resistance, which they haven't broken through yet. Obviously, they're both displaying a lot of bullish momentum, but try not to look too much into open candles because they can be deceiving. Again, open candles, they excite a lot of people. Again, a lot of beginners seeing a big bullish candle, don't want to miss out on the trade. They're entering their trades on these open candles, you know, from a bullish point of view and a bearish point of view. Seeing a bullish candle, you know, that's how a lot of people get involved. And I think generally speaking, a lot of people that are still struggling in the markets, their main trading routine or their main trading strategy is primarily their emotions. Sometimes they can trick themselves thinking that they actually do have something in place, and they might do, but when it comes to actually trading, it goes out the window. It's all about emotions and, you know, fear of missing out or fear of taking a trade or stuff like that. So when you see stuff like this, price looks like it breaking a level, you know, in 43 minutes, this could be a very strong bearish candle. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, 100% you always want to be waiting for closed candles before you make a trading decision. But yeah, AUDUSD looking bullish, so is NZUSD. Like I said, if they break for those levels, I'll be looking for the break and retest for price to push on. If it comes back for me, great, I'll be looking for the higher low. That's what I'm expecting for that. The other entity pairs are all looking bullish as well. NZCHF is flying. This one again has been very, very bearish, collapsing, but it's regained a lot of momentum. I do think we're going to recover into this area. Again, strong area of supply. We consolidated here for a few days. For about 20 days, we consolidated in that little region there. And then from that, we dumped very, very aggressively. So there's obviously going to be a lot of sellers located in this region, and we could see price, you know, take a bit of a dive from this area. So still bullish on NZCHF, but we're coming into some strong areas where we could see some profit taking happening and some sellers stepping back in and could provide some nice shorts. But I don't think that will happen not until either tomorrow or probably early next week. So I'm not going to be looking at the other NZD pairs too much. NZD potentially just because NZD looks like it could be getting ready to form another higher low. It's holding this critical level here On the weekly time frame, oh, just disappeared. As you can see on the weekly time frame, very, very key support, which again we were consolidating from for ages. Finally got the breakout, turned out to be a false breakout. Price closed back above, and now we're starting to hold this as support. So if we're successful holding this as support, NZD-CAD could find some support again and start to recover back to the upside, maybe back to some of these areas on the left. So I do think NZD-CAD could be putting in a higher low, essentially, getting ready for some more upside. So with that said, you know, targets will be back at these areas here where all those wicks are collecting. I'm just waiting for a clear opportunity, really. The price action is not the best. I feel like it's quite choppy. It could just fly off right now, but I wouldn't risk my capital on that. I mean, my bias looks pretty good, and the technicals and higher time frames look pretty good. But I just want the price action to clear up. Maybe if it comes back into this support, you know, gives us one more push, confirms it again, then yeah, I'll probably use that as a higher low for price to push on. But yeah, I'm still not a fan of the price action, really. There's a bit of like a minor level going through here, which price is stalling through. So yeah, it's not quite adding up on the lower time frames, specifically the hourly, but I do feel we do have a good chance to make it up into that level. And again, the other NZD pairs have been flying. I do think NZD-CAD is taking its time a little bit because CAD's been very, very strong, but I think it will probably catch up sooner or later. So I do have my eyes on NZD-CAD as well, but I think I want one more down move first before I do take advantage of those longs. It could just fly, like I said, but I'd rather leave that as a missed trade than take a trade that I'm not 100% confident with just yet. But yeah, the main pairs I'm focused on: USD-CAD shorts, NZD-USD longs, NZD-CAD longs, but again need a little bit more from that. Pound JPY, I probably wouldn't look for shorts. There could be some nice shorts just because price has been so bullish, but I think that's where price is headed to next. Mainly actually this high here. This high at 158 looks good to go for pound JPY. It looks set to go, really, of how everything's shaping up. This looks like a higher low from these points here. Momentum's looking good, still bullish, following this momentum here. This high looks either going to be tested again or broken through like the other JPY pairs and seen a lot more upside, and we could start be trading at the 160s, yeah, you know, in quite soonish time. So yeah, I'm expecting more upside for pound JPY. Like I said, there could be some nice sells on the lower time frames, just because the market's been so bullish. We'll come into some resistance now, so some higher time frame traders will be looking to take advantage of that and lock in some profit. Sellers will be stepping in. We'll come into some supply on the left, but I do want to see price, you know, work its way down back into this area. Very, very key level at 155,500, as you can see there. If you can come back into here, I'll be expecting price to rally again, and targets at 158. And this one I was looking to short all week, didn't get an opportunity to short. You know, I was looking at the price action, everything was still bullish. Never got a good signal to sell, and you know, I avoided taking a loss there just by, you know, looking at the price action. But yeah, hopefully we can get some longs on pound JPY maybe tomorrow. I don't think we'll probably see enough action for me to get involved today, but yeah, 158 is looking good to be tested. And obviously we do have some interest rates coming out as well, so that will probably affect pound right now, up or down, not too sure. I mean, I'm guessing to the upside because of the interest rates are expected to be increased, so we should see pound gain strength off the back of that. But whether that happens or not, you know, it's completely up in the air. To be honest, I don't really care, really. You know, price could crash or go up. As long as I can find a good opportunity, you know, I'm still looking really to take advantage of that trade, whether it's bearish or bullish. But obviously, I will look to see what happens from that. Not currently trading the pair, but I'll see how everything reacts and settles. Still in CHF JPY. Going to see how this one gets on. Still just about hanging on to that support for dear life. So hopefully, because more or less consolidation a little bit right now, but hopefully we can see price gain some momentum back above this level, start to push back into that 127 area. Again, we've seen all pretty much every other JPY pair, apart from like pound and euro, make higher highs. So I think CHF is trying to join them, but it's having trouble trying to break through this resistance here. So yeah, I'm looking at CHF pushing bullish. It's got that level there, it's hanging on to. My stop loss is at break even. We'll see what we can get. If it pushes through, cool. Stops me at break even. That's cool as well. Already banked some profit there coming into that resistance. Now that was the first TP. But yeah, I don't think I'll probably place another trade today unless gold gives me something. USDJPY rally to the upside again. I'm going to be looking for sales for this one all week as well. We've seen such a crazy move. We've seen more to it. Wow, my voice just went there. We've seen more to it. I did say yesterday that we're trading at 118. I said that we could possibly move to 119 before we do see some downside for USDJPY. Mainly because I was looking at the higher time frames, and the reason I'm looking to sell USDJPY is because it's coming to a very, very strong, important supply area. So I'm expecting the market to react with this, but the reason why I said we could possibly move to 119 is because obviously we've got the wick up here, which will hold a lot of liquidity above that high. You can see this point here started this bearish trend from December 2016. And it started this bearish trend which went on for ages, and now we're back at that same area again. So there's definitely going to be a lot of liquidity above this high. So I said we might spike above into 119 first before we actually do start to see some downside from that level. Now that we've seen the spike to 119, we could be looking for those sells again. I'm still looking for the sells, but everything is still bullish. So I'm waiting for the market to give me that lower high. I know we've got a bit of a lower high over here, but that's still very, very minor in the grand scheme of things. I'd rather see momentum spill over, price try to go bullish again, maybe fail one more time, and then catch some shorts. We've got some level to work with now on the hourly. So maybe if we start stalling like that, could catch some shorts off the back of that, and then catch a trade. Because if my analysis does play out for this pair, I'm expecting 116, which is all the way down here. 116 is all the way down here. So that's a pretty much this big move up just cancelled out with a big move back down. So I don't need to catch the right top of it of the reversal. I can just look for the second high low or even the third high low before looking to enter any trades. Of course, that is a big move. There's some areas maybe I can look at 117, that kind of doji candle there, which gave us that breakout, will be acting as demand. Obviously, we've got support here I'll look at as well. So I manage to trade it as it goes down, but where I'm expecting price to go, the risk reward, the pips in it looks very, very healthy. So USDJPY could be one to watch for next week. I don't think I will get into any shorts this week. Not because I'm not planning to, it's just because I don't think price action will fit my criteria by the end of this week. We've got Thursday and Friday left, so I doubt we'll get anything, but I'm expecting a big drop for USDJPY, so I'll keep an eye on that. It's on the watch list, but I'm not looking to stick a trade onto it yet. USDCHF, this one's also coming to some nice areas where we could see some downside. Again, if my analysis is correct for the dollar, for the DXY, and I'm expecting DXY weakness, could see USDCHF react to that as well and see some downside, coming to a very strong area of supply as well. Big drop to the downside. First time we're back at that area, we could expect to see a slight reaction to that, maybe back to some untested areas before maybe price decides to go bullish again. Who knows, we'll see how price reacts, but so far it's holding on to that area. Price action looks like it could be forming a bit of a head and shoulders here, so I do think we could be getting a drop soon. You can see the high there, the low, the high, the new low, the high. Now price is forming some lower highs there, equal lows. So I would say the price can break through this level here. Could be a nice break and retest on that, force some sales to the downside. Then the obvious targets, you would have these areas here to target your trade to. So There is some nice opportunities there for you to see CHF and the break and retest of the neckline. I would avoid taking the short now. I know that the head and shoulder looks like it's forming, but just because we've had so many reactions of this support, it's not a wise idea to take a trade directly into that, even though, you know, we do have a fairly good probability that it will break. We could see something like this happen first and then the dump. So yeah, I'd wait for the break, or if price does give us a rally, another lower high, then I'll look to enter there, because that way you've got some room to actually trade into the support, maybe move your stop loss to break even or take some profit, rather than trading directly into the support. And yeah, we could actually still go bullish as well, because the market, you know, still respects that previous low. But yeah, you see CHF, another pair trading in a nice area where we could reverse, but I wouldn't say anything is confirmed yet. USD CAD looking for that lower high. Bitcoin, we did see some rallies for Bitcoin and for Ethereum, or cryptos. We did see some upside, but I still standing strong with my bearish bias really. So I'm not budging just yet. I'm still expecting Bitcoin to see some downside for no one. Just I'm expecting to see some downside. It is reacting with that trend line. So we had a bit of a fake out, closed below, closed back above, retested, and price is looking bullish from that. But you can see that 44k is still holding firm, and all the bullish momentum has been depleted very, very aggressively over the past, you know, five attempts here. So saw a big rally there, depleted very quickly. Another attempt there, depleted very quickly as well. Had a very, very big push, depleted that 44k. Another one depleted, a second one which I'm expecting to deplete. So I do think the lower highs and lower lows are still a theme of the market, but we could maybe, you know, see one more push back up into 44, or even break 44 and then drop to the downside. But I'm still expecting that 30k area to be hit in the next few weeks, I would say. So I'm still eyeing up those Bitcoin shorts. Again, I'm still looking for entries. Price is currently holding onto this area here, so that support which it came into there as resistance. It's not looking the best, but I think maybe one more rally, or we could just drop from that. To be honest, I would say if we can hold that, I would expect us to drop. But if we do break through, then at 44, I can see us dumping from. I had a trading stop of 50 pips on GJ and it got tapped, then price just continued up. Oh, that must hurt. That must hurt a lot there, because pound JPY is rallying right now. You know, since yesterday, we've gone up, well, currently 200 pips. So yeah, I know that's got a sting. But the thing is, you know, that won't be the last time that happens to you. Throughout your trading career, that's going to happen time and time again. You know, price is going to hit your stop loss sometimes and reverse your direction. Price is going to come quite close to your TP, reverse against you. You know, a lot of those annoying things that are all a part of trading, and that is just a part of the experience really. Nothing's perfect. But yeah, I mean, something like that, you know, it's down to probability, but also it could be down to maybe having a too tight trading stop loss. So if I was you, I would look into your stop loss, your trading stop loss placement, just to make sure that you're giving yourself enough room for your trade to work out. Because if it's too tight, you know, you will have experienced a lot of those. But again, you don't want to make it too loose as well, because then, you know, your profits give back. So it's kind of just finding that balance between, okay, I'm happy to give back certain profit. I mean, I'm happy to exit trades early, you know, a certain amount of trades early, but I want to make sure that I do have enough room for the trade to actually move my direction to hit my targets. So yeah, if you've been doing that over the past 10-20 trades, just look back over the past 10-20 trades and see if you're generally getting stopped out too early, or it's about right. Because if it's about right, then yeah, it's just part of the probability. But if it's a recurring theme and it's happening too much, then it's obviously something to look into, maybe to adjust the tightness of your trading stop loss, or not to do it too early. But yeah, that's something that will happen all the time, and you can't escape that. I don't personally use a trailing stop loss. I prefer to exit manually and take my profit as price goes for me, rather than coming back. But again, it's all preference really. You can manually trade in so many different styles. You just have to pick one and go for it. But yeah, it's looking like pound still looking fairly strong right now. Coming about 26 minutes into the news, so we could still see price push on from that. Again, it's a great technical area, so if we do hold, sales will look good. But we'll have to see what the news gives us. Oil's looking good for some upside as well. We were talking about this one yesterday. I said price is coming back into this consolidation area, and if we can hold this, I'm looking at gold pushing I'm looking at oil pushing up. As you can see previously, we consolidated in this area and we got a really big move to the upside. Now I'm coming back in for the retest of that demand zone, and now price is obviously reacting with that. You can see the wicks there on the 4H, really nice. Wicked into it a few times, and that's where we start that rally. All nice double bottom here, and oil has seen some upside, and said yesterday this would be the first target, which is coming into right now. And then if you can break through that, start looking at these areas here, 106 for price to come into next. But oil's looking like we can see some upside, and maybe that could drag CAD along with it, which is still flying to the upside really. Let me take a look at the higher time frames. So yeah, from a higher time frame point of view, that resistance is like it's breaking. Price, I wouldn't say it's out of trouble just yet. This general zone here of 92 is a strong area of support and resistance. Break through that, next target I'll probably have for this one's coming to this kind of area here, around 99. So yeah, we could see price go a lot further, and see this bullish trend that we've had since, what was that, 2020? Since November 2020, off the back of COVID. We could see this bullish trend here still continue into that 99 area. So it's sometimes good just to reflect on the higher time frames, just because it will give you that perspective for the next, couple of weeks, next couple of months. That of course you can take sell trades. I'm expecting price probably to maintain this momentum, but obviously I will take sell trades at some points, still get a decent amount of pips. But I just know that the bigger move is probably to the upside, so when I do get those buying opportunities, I might be a bit more aggressive, hang on to those trades a bit longer, set a bit further away TPs, maybe leave a little bit to trail on. But yeah, we could be seeing a lot more strength. Obviously I'm expecting retracement now, but we could continue a lot further. Hello, would you please talk about entry reasons for your trades? I mean, on a low time frame, what made you to trigger the trade? Yeah, so entry reasons for me is all about candlesticks and just kind of the area of where the market is and structure. So first things first, I always locate areas in the market where I'm looking to enter or exit my trades. So if it's an area of support, an area of resistance, supply, demand, trend line, structural area, a pattern. So there's always an area where I'm looking to take my trades. 9 times out of 10 it's an area of support or resistance. And then second, I'm looking at the structure of price. I'm always waiting for price to shift into my direction before I do take any trade. So for example, if I do have resistance here, if I've got resistance there and I'm looking to take sales from that, and I've got a bullish trend coming into that, I'll be looking for the market to put me some lower highs in at least before I do take some sells. And then yeah, I'll be looking to take sells on these areas here with stop loss above that area, looking to take advantage of those moves. Sometimes obviously that won't happen. Sometimes you get a push and price is just bullish and it breaks through the level, and obviously at this point there is no trade for me. But as for my actual entry trigger, it's always candlestick patterns. It's always been candlestick patterns, and for the near future at least, it probably always will be candlestick patterns. Again, the more time you spend with anything, the better you get. And entry triggers, I just look for good size candles that display momentum. For example, CHF JPY, a current trade I'm in right now, my entry signal was this bullish candle here, closing above this trend line here that price was holding. As you can see, closed above, nice momentum, and price pushed to the upside. So I'm just waiting for strong candles in my direction essentially, and you can see price is trading back above this key area of resistance now as support. So taking that information into the lower time frames, you can see price tested that support, broke to the upside, retested that consolidation as support, and then when I got that entry there, that's how I took my trade. So there's nothing really too much into it. A lot of my analysis, a lot of my energy and focus is onto generating a good bias and analyzing the pair. Now I want to keep my entries as simple as possible. So it's either I've got an entry or I don't, and I'm just simply looking to take advantage of that bias that I have. So yeah, candlestick patterns is pretty much how I use to enter my trades. But I'm also looking at structure as well. You can see here we've gone from a bearish structure, low, high, low, consolidation, break to form that high, then we form a new higher low, and then we push bullish. So if I take that across, you can see the structure's gone from bearish to bullish with a higher low, and then we've got the confirmation with the candle. So yeah, that's how I look to take it. Obviously candlesticks alone are quite good, but you want to partner with structure, just because if you do have a bearish trend here, then you see a bullish engulfing here, you're always going to be up against it taking those type of trades, because momentum is against you. No matter if you're getting an engulfing candle or a morning star or something like that, if you're taking it against the trend, that candlestick pattern has a higher probability of actually failing than actually going for you. So you want to make sure that the market is going in your direction and is pushing the way you expect it to go. And if it isn't, it just means that the level or the area that you thought that would hold is not holding, and you sit back and wait for the next level. It has worked, and sometimes it protects me from a trade that goes in profit then shoots right back down while I'm sleeping. Okay, yeah, that for example is a very good pro of a trading stop loss. I mean, I use a stop loss, but I use it at break even, so I don't trade it into profit. I do it slightly into profit to cover for spread and commission, but it's more or less at my entry price. So yeah, when I am sleeping, during the agent session, sometimes trades do get a little bit hectic if there's news, or sometimes the agent session just pops off, to be fair. But yeah, definitely why you're not at the charts or you're sleeping, trading stop loss or stop loss in general is just something you want to have to protect trades that are in profit. So yeah, 100%. And obviously, trades will go in profit for me and sometimes come back and stop me at break even, which is why I always look to secure profit as well. So it's kind of like a variation of the trading stop loss, because if I have my stop loss here, for example, then I'll be stopped out with that much profit. Whereas when it's here, I'm taking profit there, and then if it comes back to break even, it might add up to the same thing, depending obviously about lot size and everything. But it's just a different way to manage the trade. It's all about preference, really. But yeah, 100% agree with you on that one. Hey Miko, can you add in your reasons for your trades when you put into them? Okay, yeah, sure thing. I mean, if you guys want to understand the reasons, and I can put like a list of confluences down, like a little speech bubble or something like that, and just number like the confluences. So like 1, and then 2, and then 3. So I'll just do like that on the chart, or I might just put it in the text. I don't know. I'll decide. But Yeah, no problem for that. If you guys feel like that will benefit you more, I'll post that for you. Thank you, really helped me. Good, glad to hear. So yeah, if you do have any other questions as well, it doesn't have to always be me analyzing a pair. If it's anything about trading, then I can answer that for you. Again, fundamentals is not my expertise. A lot of people have been asking me about fundamentals lately, and yeah, I just don't have knowledge to give you guys any proper useful information, other than the basics. Going into depth into fundamentals, I just wouldn't know. Technicals, from my opinion, and from me and other people, technicals is enough to make you profitable in the market. Fundamentals obviously a good thing to have, and it adds more to your arsenal, and I'm actually looking to add that in the future, but it will take time to actually understand it on a good level. You just won't understand it overnight, of course, but yeah, fundamentals is definitely not in my expertise. Thank you. Always looking forward to learning from you. Hey, much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the content, feel free to like, subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff is much appreciated. If you guys are finding the content, the channel useful, that is great. I do appreciate all the kind messages and all the feedback you guys give me. And also, if there's things that you want to see from the channel as well, and things that, like for example, on the Telegram list of confluences why I'm entering the trade, if there's anything you want to see, just let us know, stick it in the chat. And if it's in my power and I can do it, why not? So just let me know as well. But yeah, we do have 16 minutes left before that pound news comes out. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I do like being in a trade when you get the interest rates out or NFP out. I do like being in a trade for it. I think that's from more just excitement reasons than good trading opportunity. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do look for good opportunities to get involved in the market beforehand. So if I knew there's like for example, yesterday with the interest rates, I was looking at USD CAD and CHF JPY. So I was looking at both those opportunities, and both of them were looking good. So I did take both. USD CAD came out around the break-even level, and CHF JPY I'm currently still in. But I do like being in the trades when the bigger events happen, because normally 75% of the time they normally do go in my direction. So it's normally happy days when I do get the big announcements. They normally do go in my direction. So I do like being in the trades beforehand, interest rates, NFP, all those big announcements I like to be in for. Right now for the pound that's about to come out in 14 minutes, there is no trade for me. Again, when I do like to get involved, it's mainly the day before, or at least about five hours before. 1 hour before, I'm not really trying to get involved. I think my USD CAD trade was about 4 hours or 3 hours before. So that's pushing it a little bit, but yeah, pound and pound JPY are looking bullish, so I'm not trying to do anything with them. Other pound pairs, pound AUD is coming down a little bit, but maybe the pound use might rescue this one a little bit, because support broke through, turn resistance. Maybe you could redeem ourselves a little bit. Pound NZD, what are we doing there? Okay, pound NZD is finding some upside. Okay, pound's gaining some strength. NZD was very, very strong right now, but pound's starting to take control. So yeah, it looks like pound NZD may be putting a high low in here. We saw a nice amount of bullish momentum this week to the upside, and this looks to be a retracement of that, and we could be forming a new higher low here. Potentially, it's not really confirmed just yet, but I'm liking the way price is just holding that support and now spilling over. You can see it's slowly gone from those lower lows. You can see if I just point it out with the highlighter, we've gone from making these lower lows here to making some higher lows. So it looks like the momentum is slightly changing from bearish to bullish, and with the news we could just do something like this. If there was no news, I'll probably be looking at price to break through this level here, come back, retest it, form another higher low, and then that would be a really nice place to get into some trades, probably on the 30-minute or 15-minute, and then obviously looking to take that back to these highs here, and then if you can push it forward, because we do have all this price action here on the left, which does need retracing, and we could see a push all the way up to here, that last bullish candle before the drop at 1.96. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like this happen. But you know, with the news, we could do half of that very, very quickly. But we'll see. I've been learning through YouTube and etc. And now I kind of understand the structure and price action. But it'll take me hours and hours to find the potential trade because I only check daily in 4H. Yeah, I mean that's just the life you chose, man. Again, if you're looking for quality over quantity, you're gonna have to spend a lot of time waiting. You know, I saw a post the other day on social media. It was something like 10%. Something like trading is 10% buying, 10% selling, and 80% waiting. And when I thought about it, it literally is that. You know, you're gonna be doing a lot of waiting. And the higher time frame you trade, the more waiting you do. And just because you're waiting more doesn't mean you're making less money. That's something to wrap your head around as well. Because generally speaking, the lower the time frame, the more speculative it is, the more not erratic, because it can sometimes be erratic, but not generally. But the more fluctuation you can have. You know, generally speaking, the higher time frames, you can trust the price action more, a lot more than you can with the 5 or the 1 minute time frame. But just because you're trading higher time frames again doesn't mean you're making less money. It's all about how you manage your trades and how much you're risking, etc. like that. But yeah, trading the daily in the 4H, you're always going to find less opportunities than if you did on the 15 or the 5. But you're always looking for quality over quantity, and if you're doing that, you're going to be sitting on your hands a lot more than you'll be actively in the markets. And once you find that balance of holding yourself back and keeping yourself under control, and then when you see something, then pouncing on it, that's when you start forming the habits, the good habits, the foundation to actually be successful in Forex. It took me a very long time to learn how to hold myself back from trading, because if I'm at the markets, I'm always one click away from buying or selling any pair at any time. Once you get that discipline in to wait and to be patient and to wait days before a trade, you set yourself up for a very, very good journey, and a fast one as well. So yeah, that's always going to be, if you trade in the higher time frames, you're going to have to wait a bit longer, but the waiting, the reward will always pay you back of the waiting. I mean, if you don't want to wait so more and you've got more time, you can focus on more, the 1 hour as well. So you can use the daily, 4H, and then hourly as well, and start maybe introducing hourly into your time frame, just to give you that extra setup. A week or 2 extra setups a week potentially, but waiting is always a big part of it. If you feel like you're waiting around, it means you're doing something correct, trust me, because most people are doing things impulsively and off the basis of their emotions. The fact that you're doing a lot of waiting is a good sign. Trust me, it's a good sign. But yeah, dollar's still weak, so I'm still expecting dollar to come back into this area, 97,800. Not too far away from it. Euro, I'm expecting to do the exact opposite. It looks like it's trying to break out of this consolidation. It's going to take a little bit of energy for that. We do have some USD news right after the pound news, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, 12:30, we've got some US dollar news coming out as well. So we'll see how that affects the markets. Got an ECB speech at 12:45 for euro, so that will probably affect euro some way somehow. And then we've got then we've got JPY news at 11:30 GMT. Got inflation rate So again, we could be seeing the JPY get affected, and then tomorrow we've got some CAD news and some more US dollar news. So going to finish off the week with a bit of fluctuation. I mean, it's good news because it means that the market can be moving a little bit, but just have to watch out for your trades, and maybe if you can, leave a little bit more room for your stop losses, particularly if you're trading any pound or US dollar pairs. But yeah, I'm currently CHF JPY, but I don't think I'll probably enter another trade today. I'm looking at a few other pairs, and nothing is really taking my fancy. As the USD's pulled back quite nicely there, back below there. So as I said to you guys earlier on the stream, about open and close candles. At one point this was looking bullish, looks like it's about to break through the level. Same as AU, about to break through the level, and I said, who knows, by the end of the candle this could flip bearish and closes as bearish engulfing. Again, I wouldn't enter that. Probably wait for price to probably drop first, give me a little high, and then enter, just because momentum is still with the bulls. We could still see a bearish engulfing, and the next candle take us to the upside. But I'm just expressing the point about waiting for closed candles. So yeah, AUSD, as USD still holding this area. Like I said, if we manage to hold this, I'm looking for some downside for a higher low to form for the bigger push up. There could be some intraday sells from this area, same for as the USD. Not really looking for that, but do keep that in mind. Pound JPY, I'm still over bullish from that. I'm waiting for a higher low to form, so it's a retracement. Pound USD, I'm sitting back. I'm just going to see how price reacts really, and then I'll form my bias after that. USD CAD, I'm looking for sells, so I want to see some upside first, some retracement. Now I look for sells, so you can see all the setups I'm looking at probably won't occur till at least tomorrow. So I don't think I'll be looking to enter a trade today. Maybe gold, if gold retraces, but I'm not sure if it will. So yeah, we could see some downside, but to get an entry might even be tomorrow as well. So maybe gold might give me something, we'll see. But other than that, yeah, I think I'm just gonna sit on CHF JPY, see how this one goes, manage it closely, see if we can get a break of that resistance, and yeah. May I ask for a chart analysis? Yeah, sure. Whatever pair you want me to look at, just stick it in the chat and I'll give you some analysis. I'm about to end the stream after we see the news, so I'm ending the stream around 12ish. After that, in about 5 minutes or so. So if there's anyone that wants me to look at a specific chart, or wants me to analyze maybe a specific time frame as well, please let me know in the chat and I'll take a look at it for you and analyze it together. So yeah, if there's any pairs or markets you want me to take a look at, Forex, indices, commodities, crypto, feel free to let me know. I'll take a look at it for you. Even stocks, to be fair, but I have not looked at stocks in, I don't know when's the last time I looked at a stock. I've never traded stock before, so again, not the most experienced person, but technicals are technicals, and they do line up with stocks as well, even though it's a bit more erratic and a bit more tailored, but they do work. Pound JPY still pushing. Again, I think pound pairs are getting a little excited off the back of the news. Sometimes you do see that just before big news comes in, we do see a little bit of a surge of momentum, and that's where anticipation is coming in. A lot of people expecting interest rates to be increased by the Bank of England. So as a result, we're expecting a bullish pound. So a lot of people are surging into the markets around about now, just before the news. I'm going to be buying the hell out of pound USD, pound JPY right now, with JPY potentially still staying weak. It's been very, very weak, and USD potentially getting weaker. These pairs are getting bought, but that gives a lot of room for manipulation. but we'll see. It could just fly. Same with pound. NZJPY analysis. Of course, I'll get to NZJPY. Can speak for a second. GTG retracement level high on the daily. I'm looking forward to finish its retracement and place a sell. Okay, so yeah, I'll do NZJPY and then I'll move into pound, and then I'll go into CAD as well. But yeah, NZJPY, we pushed through a very significant level at around 80, which is this price swing high on the left. Broke through that. We're lining up for a massive head and shoulders there, but the level failed. Obviously, we can still get back underneath, but the market is looking exceptionally bullish right now. I do think there's room for some retracement for NZJPY, simply because we had such an aggressive leg here. There's room for price to come back down from a high low and push up. So I'd say, in terms of direction long term, I'm expecting price probably to make its way back to 82,500 up here. So with that said, I'm expecting more upside, but from a short-term point of view, 4H hourly, there probably will be some short opportunities to take it back down into 80 if we can see that retracement before maybe going long. So from a swing point of view, I'll probably hold off from looking to trade NZJPY until we get some healthy retracement, and then looking to go long. If you're looking for day trades in NZJPY, again, there might be some sells from around this area here. I'm looking to the left, a little bit choppy around this area, but there is a lot of areas of supply here on the left there where price could react to one of those areas and see some downside. So there might be some sells from an intraday perspective. It's still a little bit bullish right now. We're kind of squeezing a little bit, so maybe if we can break out of this, form a lower high, can take some sells to the downside, from a day trading point of view. But I do believe that the bigger move is still higher. So if we do see that move to the downside, great. I'll be looking for some type of confirmation that price is now getting ready to go bullish again, and then targets at that 82 mark. So yeah, that's my analysis behind NZJPY and pound USD. And I think the news is just hit, by the way. Damn, that was a big spike to the downside. So yeah, pound USD still at this area. Like I said, if we can hold this, I'm expecting price to drop, break through, then we're looking at potentially a reversal. But like I said earlier, you want to wait for the news to happen and wait for things to settle first, and then come up with a bias, or and then analyze the market for some trades. But obviously price right now is reacting to the news, and price is pushing to the downside quite aggressively. Again, you probably want to give it at least 30 minutes or so, maybe even an hour sometimes, for everything to settle before basing anything. But yeah, if pound can hold on to that, and there's definitely downside targets. First target I said would be this support time resistance there. Second target I said would be this level right here. So yeah, you're definitely right. Pound USD is still in that bearish market in the higher time frames. We've got this support time resistance there. We've got that lower high there where we could roll over and see some downside. And we've got two good targets there. First one being that area at 1.31, second being 1.3. So yeah, pound definitely could see that downside move into those areas. It's reacting bearish right now, but like I said, give it 30 minutes or so just to see how everything settles. Like what happened yesterday, we saw big wicks to the downside. Things were looking bearish for about 30 minutes or so, and then we pushed bullish. So yeah, pound essentially holds to 1.32. I'll look for a lower high to form and then catch some shorts. And then yeah, 1.31, 1.3. And then CAD JPY, hope that was helpful. CAD JPY, and this one's still looking bullish as well, still looking at more upside. I do think it's time to see some retracement though, because we've broken through this swing high here at 93, and we haven't come back for the retest of this significant high. So I do think we can see some downside into this level here. Again, that could be a nice place to sell into and then probably buy from, depending what type of reaction we get there. But yeah, the market is still looking way too bearish. Bullish right now. Right now, we're kind of just consolidating a little bit, dropping to the hourly. You can see not really much from that. So if you can start to form some lower highs, probably catch some sells back into 93. Maybe want to drop to the 30-minute for that. But yeah, I would say some sells back to 93, but the market is still bullish, so we do need to see those lower highs form before anything can really happen. But yeah, not much there to go with. So naturally, I'll be expecting a retest of 93, but no confirmation there yet. No problem, man. Happy to help. But yeah, we just had the news there. Pound seems to be reacting bearish to that massive bearish candle there. Again, wait about 30 minutes or so before we do make any verdicts. But as we're speaking, it's looking bearish. Pound JPY as well. So that's good there, because pound JPY sees some downside. That now we can see maybe some retracement to buy this back again higher. It's reacting to the supply here, as you can see. So there's a couple areas I'm looking at price coming into, and then we'll see how price reacts. Like always, guys, if I do get anything, any setups, I will be sharing it on my Telegram. So feel free to go and check that out. Link will be in the description for that. Also, if you scroll to the top of the chat. But yeah, currently in CHF JPY, how's that guy doing? Seen some upside, interesting. So yeah, CHF JPY still respecting that same support at 126,100. I'm going to see how this guy gets on. If we can break through this barrier, great. And then we're looking at 127 up there into that daily area, which is at that level there. So that's the whole analysis behind the trade. But as you can see, we're really struggling to break through that resistance. So hopefully we can go and break through this. If not, the trade will probably end up failing, coming back to my entry. If it comes back again and starts rejecting heavily, again, I'll close some more profit out. And then I'll still have my stop loss at break even. But yeah, going to see how that one gets on. Other pairs I'm looking at, USD CAD, I'm still looking at sells. NZD, I'm still looking at buys for that one. Pound USD, I'm going to see how things will settle, so I won't speak on that too much. Pound JPY, same thing. USD, I'm still expecting upside for that. Anything else? AUD as well, I'm still looking at upside for that. So like always, guys, I'll let you know in my gold. If gold can put me a higher low in somewhere, I'll look for longs back into 1970, but nothing there yet. But yeah, guys, that is the end of the stream. I hope you found it all useful. If you have been enjoying the stream lately, hit the like button. It does help the channel out. Subscribe to the channel, join the family. You're very, very welcome here. Again, the next time I will be live will be next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as always. I will be posting some analysis this Saturday about what's happened this week and forecasting the next, of course. And if I do get any setups that I'll be mentioning here, I will share on my Telegram. I will be sharing on my Telegram. The link to that Telegram is in the description, or if you scroll to the top of the chat, it's there as well. But yeah, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the analysis. I hope you have a great day as well. And stay safe. We do have some more news coming out in about 24 minutes as well. So do manage your positions wisely if you're in any trades. And be careful getting into any. But good luck in the markets. And I'll see you guys all next week.